about this. Airplane coming here to Vegas, and there was a flight attendant on the plane, and she was a Gina Merritt for sure. And you know, when you see that person, you're like, God, I want to get them into my business. She was awesome. She had that positive energy. She was friendly. She was just amazing. So I made an excuse to go to the ladies' room. And while I was waiting for the ladies' room, she was back there doing her thing. And I said, I got to tell you, I love your energy. I complimented her. And I said, you really are good at what you do. And she said, thank you. I've been doing this for 24 years and I'm going to be retiring soon.
Wow.
And I plan on going to school for massage therapy. And I'm going to start my own thing. And, you know, my daughter rides. So I said, I really would love to share. I forget what I said. It came out really good though. And I said, and it's a little while later in my seat, and I said, Vic, I've got to some patches. So and I was at the window seat, guys. I had to keep getting, the poor people sitting next to me. I had to get up again. I had to, excuse me. I ran back, I gave her the patches, and she said, thank you. And I told her how to wear them. And I said, and the opportunity is huge, especially with what you're going to be doing. And she said, I got to ask you, I'm really busy. What kind of time? Is this going to take a lot of time? And I said, how long did it take me to introduce you to this? What, 2-3 minutes?
That's right.
That's all it
That's
took.
right there.
That's
you showed them
all
exactly
it
what
took.
the time
I
was.
showed you it doesn't take a lot of time.
Wow.
So let's go.
That's good.
Do you know what? She put her patch on. She texted me the next morning and she said, I got a sudden burst of energy. She goes, I'm really excited. I set up a call with her on Tuesday. We're doing the presentation. I'm getting her on board. And the This Is It team website to onboard her. So.
Awesome. Vic, fill us in a little bit on how you deal with it.
So a little 30-second quick here, but when we were introduced to this product, I told Di, look, Albertsons, the Hernandez, and the Merritts are in. We're in. But I don't have time. This is all you, okay? And basically everybody says they don't have time. It's a cry for help. Okay?
Well, that's good.
Think about that.
That's good.
It's a cry for help because at that time, 18 months earlier, my partner stole my entire credit reporting business. I was 18 months into rebuilding my business, winning my clients back. So I sat back and I said, go ahead and do it. And then all of a sudden, I start hearing the testimonies come in. I start peeking at her back office and I see the money that's going in that account.
All
And
of a
said
sudden, I had to
myself,
share my money.
I better take a little look at this. Mikey, I had the fire behind my back. I was too proud to admit it. I had the fire behind my back. And I started looking at the Kohl's. And I said, I got to leverage my time better. So I put a foot in the Kohl's. I made a phone call. I put another foot in the Kohl's. I made another phone call. I hopped on a Zoom. I made another call. I hopped on a Zoom. Then I went to a live event. Both feet in the Kohl's. The Kohl's weren't that hot anymore, but our business.
That's right.
We just kept putting one foot in front of the other, one extra brand partner in the business. Everyone, the Kohl's help your goals. If you're online, type that in for me. The Kohl's help. Everybody, rise up, put a foot in those Kohl's, and reach your goals.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Give
you
it up for
guys
Vic
so
and Di.
much.
Good job. You guys rock it. Give it up for Vic and Di.
Woo-hoo!
All right, welcome to the stage, Andre and Jackie Devaldi. Come on up.
You can go your own way.
You guys match even. Woo! Looking sharp.
Welcome, guys. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Awesome.
Great.
Proud to have you guys up here. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about objections and things that people say to us. So a couple questions for you guys. Do you experience prospects with objections when you're working on getting them started?
Of course, everybody does. We're going to do a play role of an
Okay.
objective.
Ooh.
So,
Yes,
Mr.
actually,
Davuti,
that's
start.
the-
Sit back.
Objection is it's a crucial thing in any business, even though networking. So the problem is this, that lots of people, when they're seeing people they said no, they think that's it, it's done. But the no, it means that they're asking for more. There are concerns, and you need to be basically address them. So the way that we do, we're trying to bring them back to the conversation. And just we're gonna do a little bit of roll here so you guys can see it, but there's lots of things you can do. So let's say, just go ahead. Let's say I just told Jackie, I said, Jackie, you heard what I just showed you, all those great things, and let's start up.
I don't have time. I don't have
Well,
the money.
that's the best thing because you don't have time. This is good for you, right? So I learned from this from my friend, Dr. Tony. He says, anybody says, I don't have time, tell them this is the best time.
Yeah.
This is for you, actually, so we can make you free. So, and I'm going to tell you guys these 3 magic things you're going to tell them. Okay, what's next? What
There you
else?
go.
Well, I have to go home and talk to my husband and see if he's okay with this.
Well, it's not that she's going to go home and make the husband a salesperson, okay? That's not going to happen. And this is the 2 things that I'm going to ask you. So, Jackie, make sure when you go home, ask your husband 2 things. 1, you're going to ask him that I don't know about something that I heard, and I can make a decision for something that I don't know what it is for our future. Or you're just going to go home and tell your husband, I just got involved with this business 2 months ago, and we hit these goals, and let's go celebrate. Yes?
Of course, better
So
answer.
you choose that one.
That's good. That's good. Does anybody ever object, not just about things about time, but tell me what they'd say when we don't have any money? I want to hear more about something like that.
We don't have money. Again, everything goes back to how you can bring them back to the conversation.
Okay.
So I'm trying to bring the person back to the conversation. It's not that they don't have the money. It's again, they're looking for the answer for their concerns. So I'm just going to ask them, if money wasn't the objection for you, how can I help you with these things, with the great information that we can put you in a better place, that you will have money? Because if you don't have money right now, guess what? Next year you're broke. You don't have nothing, right? So let's make it happen right now. So let's make the right decision. So now from money, again, maybe that person says, maybe somebody else, one of my friends, they did it before and they didn't have good, result with it. So I just changed their mind. The money is not objection anymore.
Right.
Okay.
Now is the friend, right? The money is moving away. So is the friend now. So now when you start sitting there and you give them the full information that how you need to do this business, then I believe the mostly is a fear people they have.
Yeah.
That they're coming up with, I don't have the money. And I'm going to add you something else here. So if you guys want to make little money, then just go and tell people about this opportunity. And basically, I called those people. When they said no to you, I called those people, you guys are a tour guy. You just go there, you just tell them opportunity. They said no, you go. You want to make big money? You need to learn this 10, 15 objection. You need to educate yourself. Oh, I don't have money. I don't have time. I need to talk to my husband. I need to talk to my wife. My cat is pregnant right now. My dog ran away. All those things. When you learn how to respond to those objections,
Awesome.
then I guess you're in the game.
Yeah.
Awesome. You guys give it
Thank
up for
you,
Andre and
guys.
Jackie.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
guys very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys.
And finally, let's have Jason and Ty Miller come join us. Woo!
Welcome on stage.
All right, so everyone's answering this pretty clear. Do you all get objections?
Yes,
Oh,
we
wait. We got that one pretty much covered, right? So, how should your attitude and posture be when handling objections? Like, tell me how you handle that.
Sure. So your attitude and your posture, like this is non-negotiable. You know, one thing that people can't take from us is our confidence and our boldness of what we have our hands on. And so if you get an objection or whether somebody decides to join you or not, that has no bearing on where you're headed, right? And so you have to believe that. Belief.
Like
Nothing's
Steve
gonna
says,
stop you.
they got to see it in your eyes,
Nothing's
right?
going to stop you, and it's going to help you to overcome any objection that you might get.
Very good.
Perfect. Do you have anything to add to that, Jason? No? Well,
Well, I mean,
I can see you posturing pretty good talking to people
yeah,
about
I
it.
certainly, you've got to stand strong, guys. I mean, you've got to know what you have your hands on. You've got to summon the strength that you have in you, and you've got to leave the past in the past. I mean, if you're sitting there and you're out there right now and you've done things in the past, I mean, you've got to clear the mechanism on your life heading into 2024. Know that you have a calling on your life to do something absolutely incredible in this season. And I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like this. I'm so grateful for everything that's brought us to this moment. When I think about that, there is nothing about your past that isn't perfect that's brought you here. And you just got to be grateful. And, you know,
That's
when
powerful.
it comes to
That's
that topic, that's all I have on my heart today.
So do you get good results by offering LifeWave as a solution to their situations?
Yeah, so we absolutely offer LifeWave as a solution when it comes to everything that's happening in the world today. And, you know, that's kind of how we came into this entire business years ago. We've been in the network marketing space since 2010. You know, we both have enjoyed that financial independence and raising our girls from the time they were 1 month to 4, all the way up, and they're now in high school. We've had that freedom, and that freedom was interrupted. So we know, and now that we've built back, and we're going to build back to 10, 20, 30 times
That's
what
right.
it's ever been, and that can only be done here. I mean, I was talking to somebody today that blows my mind on their success that at one point I couldn't even fathom. And he told me, Jason, this was just like 2 hours ago. He said, you're where we were about this time last year.
Wow.
And that is like, because I can see a year ahead
Yeah.
pretty well. And
You got a vision.
yeah. And so people need what we have, whether it's something big or whether it's to pay for their groceries, whether it's to just get caught up, you know, after everything they've experienced the last few years. So you really have to put it all out there and, you know, let people decide for themselves. But you've got to let them know about this opportunity because it's the best opportunity on the planet. For me, it's even better than the X39. I mean, that's saying a lot, right? But the opportunity comes first, guys.
Awesome. Thank you guys so very
You
much.
guys
We
give it up for them.
appreciate
Thank you
it.
so very much. Appreciate you coming up.
So lots of people handling objections every single day. But you guys, this is where the power of leaning into what you believe, leaning into what your goals are and your desires are, and knowing that no one else can take that away from you. It's your heart. It's what you have. And man, when I talk to someone, I lean in and press into what I have and how it can help them. So sometimes when we're afraid to pick up that phone, like we don't want our friends to think we're just calling and bugging them, how about shift your mindset that we're picking up the phone to call and bless them? We know what we have as a blessing, right? We're getting ready to celebrate, recognize those that have gone through so many objections, more than all of us, and yet they've hit the very top rank of elite senior presidential directors.
You guys give it up for our leaders as they come across the stage. And
Big
we're going to
round
give it
of
up for these
applause.
guys have winning at a huge level.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome these elite senior presidential directors, Kenny and Terry Beatley.
Woo!
Scott and Renita Brannon.
Woo! Let's go!
Matt and Kim Curtis. Carl and Kathy Firestone.
If y'all want to tuck right back here, we're going to pull you guys all back out. If you'll kind of line up right there. Just because it's going to get jammed.
Nina Garcia. Mike and Sahi Hernandez. Andy and Mandy Hosier. Kyle and Joy Kimbrough. Danny and Diane McDaniel. Rick and Carrie Robertson. Brooke Robinson. Keston Robinson. Ken and Lynn Robinson. Tyler and Kendall Weldon. Ladies and gentlemen, last and not least, the one and only, the heart and soul of this team, Steve and Gina Merritt.
Come back up here. Come join them. Come join them. Come join them. Come join them. Smile big. Smile big. Smile big.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with a thunderous round of applause, please welcome back all the Elite Senior Presidential Directors to the stage for a photo.
Where to begin? Close.
They give way too much time. Merit style! Awesome.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time for your Elite
just
Senior
run across?
Presidential Director. And please welcome to the This Is It stage, Elite Senior Directors Andy and Mandy Hosier.
Here we go.
Here we go. We're ready. Let's go.
Well, we are midair in our flight from Tampa to Las Vegas. And the pilot takes his foot off the gas just a little bit. We're at 30,000 feet, I believe. and you could just feel like we're about to wrap up the flight. Well, that's about what's to happen here today with This Is It team. Rise Up virtual convention is that we're starting to descend. And guess what happened? When we stopped and got off the flight, everybody went different directions and they grabbed their bags and they took off and they got in cars, they got in Ubers, maybe they jumped on another flight. You know, that's what's about to happen for us here in the next hour or so. So we're going to wrap up really with a couple big takeaways, if you will, because as we prepare to disband out of here, we're going to be sent in our own different directions. I mean, most of us here in person. Actually, could we get the Zoom guys to join us, please? Yes, there they are.
Amazing. Hello, everybody.
Welcome back. You know, which is pretty amazing is to think that all of us in this room and these people at home, Manuel, there's Sue. Hi, Sue. Faith, Billy, I love it. Natasha. In fact, I've seen pictures of people.
Hey, Todd.
Yes,
Hey, Beth. Hey,
from
Faith.
all over. There's Tina. What's up, Tina? I love Tina. So, you know, what's amazing is that there's people from literally all over the world, and we're about to be sent out on a mission, okay? So a few things that we need to keep in mind as we wrap up or as we close out this weekend. There's a few big takeaways that can literally change everything for you. And so I'm going to take you back a little bit of our story because it started about literally 24 years ago. I was a business owner. Mandy and I, we owned small businesses. You heard some stories this weekend about entrepreneurs where the business owned me, right? There was no money left over at the end of the month, but we still had kids. We had diapers and groceries that we needed to buy, so it went on a credit card. And that was okay for a month. It was not okay for 2 months. That was dangerous at 3 months. And 12 months later, we were.
I got really good at moving credit cards around. You guys ever done that before? One credit card pays off the other, and then you're stuck.
That's right. We've intentionally mailed the water bill to the electric company to buy us a few days. You know, we've done those things. We you know, the reality is that we had to go to a pawn shop to get rid of some stuff to buy groceries. So we're sharing these stories because, you know, wherever you are, if you're in Zoom or you're here in this room, wherever you are, brighter days are ahead, but you have to know that. You have to walk that out. Now, a few years ago, 2 years ago, when LifeWave found us, we were just okay. Anybody relate to being okay? Like I had an okay job that paid me an okay paycheck, and I had an okay amount of time off every year, which is garbage, by the way. What that means is we're settling for less than. Now, the reality is, you know, we're trying to manage a few days off. Our daughter was a high school golfer, her senior year playing in the state finals. For those of you out of the country, don't worry about it. For those of you here, this is a big deal. It's her very last tournament of her career, high school career. It's a 2-day tournament. And we decided, Mandy, why don't you go? And then I'll come and join you day 2. Well, we live in Florida where we have these things that are called hurricanes, and they just pop up at random. So they go off to day 1. And about the 15th hole on day 1, my daughter's coach comes along and says, hey, by the way, we got a hurricane coming tomorrow. We're going to cancel tomorrow. So here I am as a dad. I'm sitting 2 hours away from my daughter's very last high school tournament, and there's nothing I can do. And I will never in my life, I will never get a chance to go back and cheer her on like that, right? So, but because my life was okay, part of me was happy and part of me was frustrated. And when we heard about this opportunity, we went to an event, we plugged into an event. There was a few big takeaways that we got when we stepped into Steve and Gina's event. Thank God for you guys. Thank God for David Schmidt. Thank God for this opportunity and this company, because it gave us hope again, okay? And so what we get a chance to go home with, what I hope you pack in your suitcase on the way home is hope. Because if you'll distribute hope, you can literally change people's lives. So I forgot to grab the clicker again. It was kind of a mad scramble backstage. But Guys, if you could go to the first slide, please, because this is really a few things that when we look back, oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Ask and you shall receive.
Okay, so when we look back, what were a few things that helped us in our journey, and a few things that, as we're wrapping up this weekend, can be vital for your success?
If you know the answer to the blank, put it in the chat.
There you go. So, step one is you have to decide to decide. Okay? So, if you're here with me, say decide to. Okay, if you guys are in the chat, decide to what? Decide. You see, many of us, we can kind of circle around in this environment and go, oh, this is such a great speech that Kendall gave, or such a great speech that Danny and Diane did, or this was so great. And we go back home and we're in this same place of indecision. And it's been said that indecision is the thief of opportunity. My friend Todd Varvel over here, not Varvel, it's Varvel. He says, one quality decision. One. You see, if you decide that this is it, this is my year, I am going to commit, I'm deciding to not sit on the fence. If you notice on the screen, a decision has come to a resolution. You know, when you have a resolution, people can't talk you out of it. If you said, hey, January 1st, that's it, I'm losing 10 pounds, you know, you're not tempted. It don't matter. Ice cream doesn't matter. You have a resolution because you have resolve. Okay, so when you decide to decide, that's the beginning of everything else that begins to change.
That's right. And the Word of God tells us in Matthew 25 that what He's going to ask us, what did you do with what I gave you? So we have to use those talents and we have to steward them well. So those of you in the audience and those of you watching, your talents are necessary for the next wave of people to come here and have enormous success. Your talents and your gifts are needed here, and it's our social responsibility to share this. We all learned that. If you were at the global conference, you learned that from our Portugal friends. I mean, I was in tears the entire time they spoke, but this is our social responsibility to share. And that decision for this weekend, you don't put it all in your head. We got to move it to our heart, because this is a decision of the heart. If we move this, oh, there we go. So we're going to own our journey and our success. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. So you know more than anybody you're going to talk to. That's what that means. So we just got to go out in confidence. Here's something that we learned a long time ago that is really important to say. If somebody's giving you objections but here's what I do know. And you just share your story, right? Your story is validation. Somebody else's story is validation that this works, the product works, and we don't want to wait. We want to get to work right away. We want to do the work that it takes to get freedom. I want to encourage you to do this for your family. Don't wait for any help. Don't wait for anyone. We were going to do this with or without these amazing events, and you should as well. We're not waiting for help. We're not waiting for someone. We are going to do this anyways. That's right. And you know what encourages me the most and makes me cry at every event is that everyone can win here. Young and old, big and small, English speaking, Spanish speaking, German speaking, we're Polish. We're translating this in Polish and Russian. This is an incredible opportunity, but it's not going to be a secret for long. Everyone can win here. And when you get that in your heart, it should make you cry that my parents in their 70s can win here because there's 70 and 80-year-olds winning here already, right? My son and daughter can win here because there are young people already winning here. It is an exciting place to be. Own
Very
that
true.
journey.
Very true. So, number 3, commit to the process. I love it. Sarah Robbins shared this morning. System is save yourself time, energy, and money. We have the system in place, and the system works if you work the system, right? We heard that. The question is, were we going to go work the system? Let me explain. What does it mean to be working the system? It's eyeballs on Zoom. I love it that my friend Joe shared that earlier. I need people plugged in on real estate. So if you want to catch on fire, you got to get around the fire.
right.
You got to be plugged into the Zooms. There's Saturday morning trainings. If you're not on it, your team's not going to be on it. Or the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the Zooms that take place in Spanish and around the world, these are there for the taking, but you have to decide, I'm going to make this a priority. If it's not on your calendar, it's not a priority. So put it on your calendar, take advantage of the system that's at your fingertips, and watch what happens. Watch how fast your business grows.
That's right. And the next slide is lead by example. I feel like I'm always talking to these guys over here.
Okay.
We need to lead by example. We need to win the day, right? Whatever it takes for you to set your goals and win the day. You win the day, you win the week, which we get paid every week, right? We want to win the week, right? Put in the chat, I'm going to win the day, I'm going to win the week. We need to plan to take action. Why do we talk about events and trips? Because it means you're doing the work. Trip, it just means you've been working. You've done the work. It's proof, right? We need social proof to kind of gear up and on social media to know that this is working and this is what works for people, and there's success stories out there. Well, this earning the trip means that you are working this at an above average level. I think that already have hundreds of points. We've got to do the work, and that shows up in winning the trips, earning the trips, and just building your business. Favor follows boldness. You need to take courage. 20 seconds of courage will get you a long way. Psalm 23:6 tells us that mercy and goodness follow us. Do you want mercy and goodness to follow you? Yes. Yes. Yes or yes? All right. We want mercy and goodness to follow us, so we do what is necessary to do. Message of hope and truth to the world. We want this to reach the nations. Have courage in all that you do. Remember that the Lord is your rear guard. He's allowing mercy and goodness to follow you always.
Amazing. All right, this is our last point. And we happen to be standing, for those of you on virtual, we happen to be standing in Las Vegas, Nevada. This at one point in time didn't exist on the map. At one point in time, there were people that decided, I'm going to sell everything and I'm going to pack up my entire life savings in a and I'm going to head west as a pioneer to find open territory. Now today, it looks much different. There's LED lights everywhere and giant, spheres and all kinds of crazy stuff here in Las Vegas. But at one point in time, there was a chance that you could go west and claim territory. So our last takeaway is this way. This opportunity may be the opportunity of the year worldwide. No matter where you're dialed in from, no matter where you're listening to, even if you're listening to the replay, it doesn't matter. you're plugged into what may be the greatest opportunity of our lifetime. But we have to decide, I'm taking territory. I'm not going to delay. I'm going to go home and take action, because here's what it means to take territory. Do my friends know that I'm part of LifeWave? Do they know that I'm connected? Because I don't want to show up in August. I don't want to walk into August next level event and see a buddy of mine from high school that I did call. I don't want to show up and see a friend of mine or a neighbor that they didn't know that I was a part of this company. So how do we share our story and we write our vision on people's hearts? That's the power of sharing your story. So if you want to take territory, a pioneer in the gold rush of 2025, then we're going to be committed to sharing our story, just like Steve and Gina shared. The blueprint earlier was sharing our story with 3 to 5 people a day, every single day, so that we can take territory. As the company explodes, your opportunity and your business is going to explode too.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, let's do this real quick. If you are a pioneer, we are coming to this, we're an early adopter. That's why we're getting no's and maybe some skepticism. You're an early adopter. You are a pioneer. With me, rise up in the chat. In the chat, say, I am a pioneer. I am a pioneer. We will take territory together and win the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the This Is It stage. Elite Senior Presidential Directors, Mike and Simon.
Let's go! I had no idea we were doing this. How's everybody doing? Let's go, baby! Hey, my goodness, what an amazing weekend, guys.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness, everybody has poured in. But I know one thing, they're about to, at the time of their, we're gonna crank it up. Guys, yesterday we got a chance to talk about it a little bit. A chance to talk a little bit about mindset. Today we're gonna be more technical, all right? So, here's the deal, we're gonna get right into it. So I hope you guys can read. Right fast. Oh my God, they gave us a few more minutes. That's great. All right, so here's the deal, guys. I want everyone to have some breakthroughs. All right, guys, I'm gonna tell you. I remember like yesterday when we started this business. As a matter of fact, most people don't know this. When we started this business, the person who signed us up, who led us to Steve and Gina business. All right, Steve and Gina Merritt didn't sign us up in the first company, but they became our mentors, our leaders. The gentleman introduced us to the juice. Back then it was the juice. I was interested about the product. Next thing I know, I get introduced to a lady by the name, and I was blown away. My life has never been the same, all right? But they weren't our sponsors. But guys, like they're babies, all right? So here's what I got to tell you. It's been the only thing I've really ever been successful at. And I remember sitting in these seats trying to have these breakthroughs, you know, and understand. And the attitude, the leaders, is what you need to really catch. You hear about, you know, these things thrown at you. You got to catch them. You got to be ready. But what I learned is that once you get to the level where we are, is because you've put in the work. You've done you've put in the effort, guys, and you've gotten enough no's where you just don't care. All right? You get to the point where it just doesn't faze you. All right, I've done sales before I got into LifeWave. In my earlier years, I used to sell cars, right? And I remember I didn't make any money. I made a lot of friends. Everybody loved me. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, Mike, he's amazing." But I wasn't selling any cars. Me time to build the courage to look at someone and ask them this, and they'd send me to sales and training, whatever. And it took me years, not years, but it took me a long time to get to the point where I can sit down and look at my customers and say, "Excuse me, what is it going to take for me to earn your business?" Oh my God, it took me, but once I got past that fear, once I did it again and again, it was natural. And here's the thing, it didn't bother me, the fact that not everyone's going to buy from me. It's just the way it is. So this business is the same thing. Not everyone is men. No one has gotten more no's than Steve and Gina Merritt. All right? They just don't talk about the no's. We don't care about them. All right? We don't care because we know that in the path to find the yeses, there's no's than yeses. All right? Most people just get discouraged along the nose and like, "Oh my God, I don't know if this is going to work." And that's the first thing you need to notice is all of these leaders, they have thicker skin, but they weren't born that way. We were developed sitting in the seats where you are and where every single one of you are. Congratulations to every single one of you. We believe in you. This is your year. And guys, you started the year the right way. Say, if you are ready to change your life in 2025, say 2025. Type it right here. 2025. Because 2025 is going to be the year, guys, that you rise up.
2020 thrive.
2020 thrive. I love that. All right. So, guys, here's my point with this. You want to accelerate your leadership? Get to the point where you don't care. In other words, guys, you need to be bold. I don't know if any of you have with any of your uplines where you have a prospect, you're excited about them. "Oh my God, Mike, listen, I have this guy. This guy's amazing." And listen, I do this all the time. And they're like, "Hey, how you doing, John? Hey, John, how you doing? Mary tells me you're a really sharp guy. You're a sharp guy, this and that." So I'm like, I don't know. And, I'm bold. I take jabs at them. As a matter of fact, just the other day, I was doing a launch for somebody. And this guy comes in, "Hey, Larry, I know why you invited me, because I'm gonna come and I'm gonna crush this, and I'm gonna do this. You want to thank me now, Mike? You're gonna thank me?" And I said, Larry was like, yeah, that's why I called you. And I say, "Hey, Larry, I hear this all the time. God, you're gonna no. I'm gonna take jabs at you. You know why? Because I'm bold. But I'm bold because, again, I've heard it too many times. Right? So here's the point, guys. You need to be bold. All right? You need to start telling people the way it is. Don't be afraid of telling people that, yes, it's an auto ship. Yes, your best investment in this business is costs around $2,000. Get bold. Be serious. Don't take shortcuts. All right. It's like dating, guys. All right. It's like almost like dating. So you know, like you already know our story. I met her when she was 12. I was 15. I didn't know she was 15. That's a whole nother story. We're not going to spend another second on that. But it's like when you start dating, right? Well, I like you. You like me? Well, I'm going. Yes, she was 12.
Who else were you
15.
dating that you did that?
You, baby. Think about this, guys. When you're dating, right? I like you. Do you like me? You go through the whole little process. Oh my God, you want to go to the movies? You want to go on a date? Huh? Hey, you want to be my girlfriend? Oh, a little kiss, right? And you know what you're looking for. When you know what you're looking for, you had enough dates, you get to the point where you don't have time to spend. You know exactly what you want. So instead of going through all that, you're like, hey, I know what I'm looking for. I want a wife. I want someone that's this, makes it my value. This is what I'm expecting. This is what I'm willing to give. Is this for you? Yes or no? Because if not, we're not going to waste any time. All right? God, that's how you need to deal with your prospects. You get to that point. You date enough, looking for the perfect woman. Guys, you get to the point where I'm not going to show shortcuts. I don't have time to waste and go through all of this.